Hey, what's up, guys? It's Apollo Uchiha here, and welcome back to my channel. Today, I am back with a new story. The name of the story is What If Naruto Was Son of Zeus and Hera and ruled over Mount Olympus? And yeah, guys, it is an unscripted story. Now, before continuing, the shout out is due where it is due. Shout out to Spidey XR for suggesting this idea. He has been for quite a while now, and yeah, I have been putting it off because I thought you guys didn't want it anymore, Percy Jackson or, Naruto crossover, but turns out you guys do. Honestly, I'm kind of confused, my G's. At one time you don't want them, and the next you want them. I don't know what's going on. Maybe I'm kind of slow in this matter, but yeah, I'm gonna try my best to, catch up with you guys. Anyways, for the time being, the neglected shit is on hold because you guys are kind of bored out of it, so yeah. If you have any more ideas, aside from neglected ones, you can leave them in the comment section. And without any further ado, let's begin with our today's story. Our story begins on Mount Olympus, where we see Zeus was currently standing outside of his temple with a serious expression on his face. Over the course of centuries, since Mount Olympus has been formed, since the beginning of time after Titan Markey War, we see that Zeus has cheated multiple times on his wife. But right now, his wife was at its lowest because she has threatened him with a divorce as well as leaving him. And this has caused something within Zeus to stir that has not been stirred for quite a while now. Fear of being left alone. As now we see, taking in a deep breath, he entered. As now we see, he entered their chamber in which they slept, as Hera was seated on the bedside crying. Why are you here? Leave. I don't want to see you, Hera. My love, please, listen to me. No, don't, Zeus. You always coax me with your words, and then you go on behind my back and cheat. You know, I'm not even pissed at you at this time because I am pissed at myself. Because each and every time I allow myself to listen, to get coaxed by your words, and then I know you will betray me, and yet I forgive you again and again. I swear on River Styx today, with both of my brothers, that I would not have any more demigods. If anything akin to a child I will have, it will be with you. And not here on Mount Olympus. Let us go on a vacation. And so, Hera, for the last time, thinking about it, agreed. I swear, Zeus, this is for the last time. Agreed, wife. And so now we see they stood in front of the whole council and shocked them with their decision. As Athena, adjusting her helmet while seated on top of her throne, and said, Father, with all due respect, do you think it is a wise decision to leave? I mean, if you want to have some time, you can have it here. No, Athena, I think it would be best for Zeus and Hera, to be honest. You both have been at each other's throat for quite a while. Honestly, brother, I'm quite surprised that you made such a rational decision. I'm happy for you too. Thank you, brother, said Zeus. Listen now, I want you all to act at your best and do your duties. Well, where are you gonna go? I have one question alone. I'm not telling you, Apollo. Please, because I have some few suggestions if you haven't had any. What are they? Said Hera. And now everyone was shocked because Hera never listened to any one of them. Um, uh, Sister, are you okay? Asked Demeter. I am fine, sister. I just wish to know. There are many beautiful places you can go and visit, like, China or even Japan and South Korea or, different regions. I have never been to Japan. The areas where they worship the Shintos? I guess it could be quite refreshing visiting something outside of our domain. What do you say? I think it would suffice, Zeus. And so both the king and the queen of Mount Olympus then went there for their, well, recreational honeymoon as well as to relax. It was a 1 month break, but for them it was passing by like a breeze, and after a month, once they returned, they were refreshed and much more, well, happy and closer. As time began to pass by, we see Hera find out that she was pregnant again. And she was certainly most happiest until the Fates arrived. "What can we do for you, Fates?" said Zeus as he stood up from his throne alongside everyone, while Hera remained seated. "We are here bearing a good news. Chaos Sama has blessed you all with a child. A child that will take your throne, Zeus. Take away your worries. Make you retire and enjoy your life with your wife over there." "What? What do you mean that Zeus will no longer be a king?" "It is as it is said, King of Seas. A child will be born, a hero from the Bronze Age, where mortals wielded the strength of elements, long erased by chaos itself. A warrior that has saved world again and again will be reborn as your son. His name will be Naruto." A, a Shinto name? "Yes, because that is the land you chose. We chose a warrior from there for you." And so, Hera was pleased. But that name's made fish cake. "No, Apollo. The name means something else as well," said Poseidon. "It means whirlpool or maelstrom." "I like that name," said Zeus. "Then let it be known that Naruto will be the king of Mount Olympus." And this pissed off many, many gods, such as Ares and even Athena. "Father, are you sure? Fates have given us a message. Chaos is blessing us, and that has never happened before. If a child is to be blessed to us by chaos, then he will lead Mount Olympus to glory, Athena. If it was you, you would have been in charge already." As Athena gritted her teeth, but knew what Hera has meant. As now we see, the fates didn't leave. "Is there something else you wish to tell us?" "The queen of Mount Olympus, since she will be retiring, a new queen will be needed." And there was a heavy silence. "Chaos has chosen the perfect suitor, a suitor that reminds and acts like the wife of the child, the one he had before. And that one is Artemis." As Artemis snapped her neck towards the fates and stood up. "I'm sorry, what? But I have taken the oath. Your oath has been revoked, Artemis. You will be able to marry him. You will love him. But I am a maiden goddess. This is blasphemy. I would not do such a thing. Father." Before Zeus could say anything, Hera then said, At least let my son be born. We will talk about his marriage later. And not like I'm gonna marry you to him right now. If he doesn't wish to marry you, then he won't. But I don't wish to marry him. Then you will not. Only time will tell." And so the fates returned, and time began to pass by until the child was born. He was born before Percy, and was raised. Luckily, because of him being a god, within a month he was able to grow from a baby to a, teenager. And at that moment he stopped growing. He was 6 feet tall and, had blonde hair, blue eyes, and tan skin, with 3 whisker marks on each side of his cheek. His sacred animal was fox, and he had a staff in his hand that was black, and it had 6 rings in them. As now we see, Naruto had a throne of his own, being called the Sage and whatnot. Why? Because he had a connection with nature and animal spirits, and acted like a fox, which is why he got along with Hermes, Apollo, as well as his brother Hephaestus, and his sister Athena, who liked him well as well now. But that is where the list ended. Aphrodite, he avoided her because, she was literally a slut in his simple wording. As for Ares, he was just downright jealous and pissed because he was never treated as such, like royalty, like his little brother was being. He was the oldest, and yet here he was, being left out by his own family, by his own father and mother. He never got the praises. Why? Because he was war god? He was just fulfilling his domain. And that is why he despised Naruto. And then there was Artemis, who was avoiding him left and right. She, whenever nearby him, knowing that she was no longer a immortal maiden, was now always blushing. Why? Because he was kind. He even treated some of her hunters well as saved some of her, future hunters as they joined later on her group. They respected him, and more so ever than Zoe Nightshade. Sooner or later, due to Apollo, her brother's big mouth, it spread out that Artemis was soon to be wed with him and whatnot, and Zoe, to her surprise, sat down their Patreon goddess alongside the hunters in a camp nearby as they asked the question, "My lady, Lord Apollo has been saying quite a lot of stuff. We want clarifications. With all due respect, I have served you for centuries. So have many of the hunters. Many of the new ones as well have looked up to you. We all did. My lady, we wish to know. It is the truth. If Lord Naruto is the one, I think it would be best. He treats us with kindness and he never, ever tries to trick us like the rest." "Even I must agree," said Zoe, the most man-hating hunter out of all of them. Zoe, are you?" "Yes, my lady. If that is the will of chaos, then you should not deny it, because never anything good comes out of it. Ever." And so now we see Naruto as well as Artemis, met. During their first meeting, in which they were left alone, or at least as much as they could because Apollo was still spying on them, they talked. They didn't talk about any romantic stuff or their likes or dislikes. They talked about their ambitions and, about nature and itself. And in one way or another, Artemis began to feel a deeper connection with Naruto until it happened. She fell in love with him. And so did, Naruto. And then came the time when Naruto became the king of gods, married Artemis, and made her the queen of gods. Naruto was now given the domains of Zeus, as Zeus was free from his domain, now being a former king of gods and still holding a throne in the council. Same could be said for Hera, as she was proud of her child. Her only son wasn't a disappointment, aside from Hephaestus only, and she only had 3. Ares was the one who was the most disrespectful out of all. When Naruto's ceremony ended, many other gods were happy. Even Hades was allowed back in. At first Zeus was against it, but Naruto told him, "Father, this would be for the best. A new era is about to begin and I want to have a better relationship with the underworld and the Atlanteans. We can't just always be paranoid about them. They are our family as well." And after hearing these words, Amphitrite, Triton, who were there alongside with Poseidon, as well as Persephone and Melanie, were quite happy and pleased, because the new king of Olympus was certainly quite nice. And Naruto already had a friendship with both, Triton and Melanie, to the point that they acted like Team 7. Because, Triton was the emo Sasuke, and Melanie was, Sakura, except for the fangirlish behavior and adding Tsunade's strength and healing factor. While Naruto, he was still Naruto, but much more wiser than ever. As time began to pass by, Artemis as well as Naruto welcomed their first daughter, their child, who became the leader of the hunters as a new, taking the role of Artemis. Lily, the goddess of hunt and the goddess of hunters, as she took the charge while Artemis remained with Naruto. Time passed, as now we see one peaceful day, Naruto heard a fighting scene coming from his father's temple. "What is going on there?" "Oh dear, us," said Hades as he arrived there. "He broke the oath, didn't he?" As Poseidon arrived, saying these words. "I'm sorry, what?" "Well, before you were born, Naruto, now, Zeus, while still being a king, forced us into an oath." "Okay, let me guess. It was about not having any more demigods. And I think he just broke it." "How can you be so sure?" Dear, I can feel a demigod's presence in the world. Because I have taken over Hera's domain, I can sense it. And obviously, since she still have access to these domains, she can sense it as well." Oh, us. What have you done, father? As Naruto then said, alright, I'll take care of this. No need to get everyone here. But we wish to see the drama, said Hades. Geez, uncle, you're enjoying this way too much. Of course I do, nephew. I live on this. Geez, you're supposed to be ruling over dead. Hey, I don't laugh that much. I'm already dead inside. Let the old man have his fun, as they say nowadays. Times. Whatever you say. And so Naruto walked towards his father's temple, where he saved his father from, well, stuff that was being thrown. Mother, calm down, please, for the sake of Olympus. You're gonna throw the temple down to the mortal realm. Son, leave this place this instant. I have a bone to pick with this man. What did father do? I guess you already know, said Zeus. Geez, father, you're not helping. And why would you even do that? Ask him, son. Why would he do that after he swore that oath to me? I want separation. I'm not staying with him anymore. Mother, please calm down. No, Naruto. I have been abused by this man, Hera, but please listen to me first. And that is when Zeus showed the picture of a carbon copy of Hera in the form of a mortal. How is this possible? I was confused. I thought that you were, role playing. Zeus blushed as golden. His face was golden with godly blood. As Naruto blushed and groaned, you didn't have to say that. As Hera was also confused. How is this possible? Look, I got confused, okay? So you still love me then? Jeez, you can sort this mess out. I'm leaving. I have other stuff to do. And so Naruto left. After a few hours, well, once he returned, his parents were hugging. Ah, son, great timing, you're back. Well, I am. I still hate that you have a demigod's child. Well, it's children. I'm sorry, what? Said Hera, looking towards him. As Zeus flashed into the form of Jupiter, as suddenly Juno appeared. Sorry, wife. And another argument broke out as Naruto groaned. Seriously, leave here at once, son. I must correct your father. As a spear arrived. Wife, please listen to me. As now we see, Naruto left back to the throne room as was seated there, rubbing his temples. I get it why he retired. That horny old man. You will learn from his mistakes, husband. And you better not cheat because I will literally cut your thing off. As Naruto clenched his legs. No, I would never. Before mother would do, I would do the same, father. Ah, isn't my niece just amazing? Uncle, please, for the love of us, stop doing that. That's disgusting. Say whatever you want, my niece. I'm so happy and proud to be finally an uncle. Apollo, brother, please stop doing that to my daughter. Athena. Yes, Naruto? Can you at least track down the child and make sure that he had two now. Well, that settles it. I'm gonna go have a demigod of my own, said Poseidon as he left. Wait! Why is nobody listening? Welcome to the club, said Hades. Sorry, what? That is how Zeus used to act, but you're much more tame, kid. Like you could ever rule as a king. I'm sorry, brother. Is there something wrong? As everyone, while having fun, then stopped, as Ares then said, You're a disappointment as a king, little brother. You know that? A disappointment. Zeus at least had power, the charisma, and the guts. All you do is just bitch and moan while seated on your throne. I keep peace and order restored. I have united Olympus, Atlantis, as well as Underworld. What more do you want? I am the god of war. There should be wars, not peace, not preservation, not life. There should be some death as well. There is death, said Hades. I am the lord of the dead. I would know better about that than you, Ares. You don't get to talk to me like that, death breath. Silence, Ares. He is an Olympian and your elder. You should respect him and you will respect him. Says who? Says I. I challenge you for the throne. Is this going to be a normal thing from him? Yes, I think it will be, said Athena, rubbing her temples. And so, Ares summoned his war axe and his shield. And Naruto cracked his hands and then arrived at the training ground where Zeus and Hera, after finishing up their fight as Jupiter and Juno, had finally arrived. Because Zeus, learning from a few tricks of Naruto on how to appease Artemis when she was pissed, was able to calm down Juno herself. What is this rubbish? Ares, apologize to Naruto. He is a king, for God, for our sake. What are you doing? I am showing him how to rule like a true king. As Naruto summoned his staff, as suddenly the rings disappeared and appeared behind him in the form of orbs, as his staff then turned into a rod which split into two, as Naruto bursted into energy, golden energy, as Naruto looked towards him with cross-like eyes. Alright, you think you can glow like that and I'll be just terrified. As Naruto disappeared, the next thing he saw was his shield being shattered by a tubular rod, slamming through it like it was a knife. As Ares jumped back, and then growled, throwing his shield to the ground, grabbing his axe, he charged. Naruto grabbed onto his axe, using his momentum, throw him to the other side, and then his rod turned into a spear that literally destroyed his axe. Your weapon has been destroyed, Ares. Yield. I will never. I will fight you with my fist. Naruto gave Ares a brutal beatdown until he was on the ground. You yield? I yield. Is this going to be a regular from you? Because honestly, I don't want to fight, brother. I told you there is peace already established. Everything is working fine and in order. Why must you disrupt it? There are a few minor wars going around in the mortal world, and yet you're adamant that we must have immortal wars. Why are you so self-obsessed with wars? You better learn what my father has said, uncle. Because I and my hunters will hunt you down if you try to cause chaos amongst this peace. While there was order restored, and even Zeus was pleased with what had happened to Ares, Ares was not. And at that moment, he began to hear voices in his head. All the way down in Camp of Blood, Percy Jackson has arrived, and so has, well, the other kids. But this time around, the big three were not fighting because of Naruto, and they were no furries sent after one another. But since they were the demigods, they still needed to arrive there, and so they did. But amongst them was Luke Castellan as well, and he too has been hearing the same thoughts from the certain crooked one. Naruto was sleeping one night because he still liked to, as Artemis was resting nearby him until Naruto stirred awake. Artemis woke up as well. Dear, is everything fine? I don't think so. I must contact Fates. Should we call for a council then? No. Let everyone rest. I need to talk with them first alone. And so Naruto arrived, where the Fates resided, seeing that the three of them were seated, one holding the yarn, the other knitting, and the third cutting it. What does the future king of Olympus would want from us? Is he here to know something about the future? Said the other one. Or something dreadful is realized by him. I had a dream. Kronos is stirring. As the three of them stopped, every dream and vision is sent in the form of a prophecy to a king. You have been warned, King of Olympus. This is your first and maybe the last trial by Chaos. Chaos has seen that you had done good work, but it has to test its champion. The spirit that resides within you, the strength that you use, is wielded by the same warrior. You are that warrior, but now you are something new. You must realize who you are, and then, wielding that power, you must once again fight those evil who you have fought before. As now we see, Naruto returned, and this time around, Naruto and Artemis, who was awake, looked towards him. Husband, tell me what happened. Something dark is stirring awake, and we must act before it does. Unbeknownst to them, deep down in the pits of Tartarus, where even Tartarus or Nyx, the primordial of night itself has never looked, was hidden, sealed away from centuries, an old being, The only being who was able to survive. Otsutsuki Kaguya. The primordial before the primordial chaos. And she has broken free after eons from her seal. As Naruto was focusing, training already, while Kaguya being free was doing her thing. She arrived into the Tartarus first. Using the seal, she absorbed these titans they claimed to be powerful and whatnot, and gained the power of all of them again. And that is when she realized something. He was here again as well. Well. Look what do we have here. After eons I thought you might have been perished, boy, and yet here you are, and as a king. Luckily you have not come to your full potential, but soon you will. And before you do, I must strike. As Hades was the first one in his domain to find out something has happened, and he alerted Olympus, as Artemis was the one in charge there. Where is Naruto? Said Zeus. Yes, the king should be present here, Artemis. Father, everything is calm. I have sensed something that is not right. Nothing is calm, Artemis. Naruto needs to be here, said Hades. What is it, uncle? Where have you been, Naruto? I talked to the fates. Something dark is stirring. Stirring, it already has awoken. Titans are gone. What? What do you mean titans are gone? Said Poseidon. As everyone who was from the older generation was shocked and scared. This is not good. Our father has gone, Zeus. What could this mean? As Naruto then said, this could only mean that she has awoken. My worst fear has come to reality. Who has awoken? Kaguya Otsutsuki. Fates reminded me that I was from a Bronze Age. The age where, yes, we know. My ancestor, the one I am reborn as, he fought that thing, sealed it away. I am trying to awaken that same power. I don't know how to. As now we see, everyone was shocked, beginning to draw conclusions as well as some patterns on how they could tackle this. All the while Naruto was seated back inside his temple, meditating until a fox arrived inside his lap. It was orange and had red eyes which listed them. What should I do, young one? I'm trying everything I could, meditating, training, focusing. Try look within yourself, kid. He thought he heard a voice from the fox. You'll be able to find it. Find what you are seeking. And with that the fox disappeared. As Naruto stirred awake, he had fallen asleep. Was that a dream? Kurama. It was his voice. Even after eons, you still guide me, huh, you old fox? Naruto closed his eyes and finally tapped into the mindscape, where he saw the Kage Naruto, standing into the void. Took you long enough to come here, King? Should I call you King Naruto or whatever? Stop joking, please. She's stirring awake. She's already awake, I can sense it. You can't, can you? As Naruto shook his head. Alright. What do you want then? I want to learn your ways. You already know them. But I don't know how to use them. Oh, you will. Trust me. Just trust your guts. We always have, you know. We always were the knuckle-headed ones. The ones who had first dived into the battle. Consequences we damned. We made fun of fates before. And now, they respect us because they know we were the wild card. How am I capable of holding a candle to you? You achieved so much, and yet I have done nothing but it easily. Taking the position of the king, I have established peace. You've done enough. This is your reward, a peaceful life. But that peace is about to be disrupted. The titans are gone. The worst enemies that my father has faced are gone. All that is left is her. How am I gonna deal with her? She's before the age of even primordials. Simple. Use the sun and the moon seal that exist within you now. You have been reborn as a warrior. You have been reborn as me again. You would know. As suddenly Naruto looked towards his palm, which were empty before, had now engraved in the center the seal of sun and moon. As Naruto's eyes turned orange with amber eyes and pigments like toads, "You're awakening. Go back and use everything you got." As Naruto now awoken, a sudden burst of energy was released from his temple, and next thing we know, Naruto was heading towards the underworld. As he arrived there, we see he had the staff of the sage in his hand, which turned into rods as Naruto smirked, wearing the same Konoha headband. "It's been a long time, Kaguya. It has been way too long, Naruto Uzumaki. I cannot believe it, that you have survived for so long, and yet here you are. Kind of been reborn, you know. You thought you have forgotten me. I would have died, but no, I have survived. But your clan is gone, my son, and I took care of them all. And yet I remain, the one you sealed away remains. And I'm about to make sure that you're sealed again, and this time permanently." As the battle commenced, Kaguya was much more vicious, throwing portals. Naruto was thrown into other dimensions after dimensions after dimension, and that is when the Olympians involved themselves, and they were capable of distracting her until Naruto got back. Even Artemis was firing arrows, and Apollo was shooting flaming arrows. Hermes was running as fast as he could to distract and punch her, while Zeus was throwing lightning bolts, and Trident were being thrown by Poseidon. Hera was summoning her peacock army and her spear, as even Athena was challenging her, and Kaguya, she just stood there, throwing them left and right with single hands. "Weakling, all of you. You claim yourself to be gods. You're pathetic than the mortals. Even a normal shinobi could take care of all of you." As that is when Naruto arrived, ripping through the portal, punching her across the face like he did before. "Remember this, don't you?" As her veins popped around her eyes. "You will pay for this." Before she could do anything, Naruto summoned the clones, 3 of them, as they charged something. As Naruto smirked, "Oh, this is nostalgic. Odama Rasengan!" As 6 Rasengans were slammed into her, as she was wounded badly. After all that, we see Naruto landed, and now, activating the sun and the moon seal, he dashed, slamming the both seals on each side of her shoulder, causing her eyes to go wide. "No, not again. No, no!" But before she could go, he made a few other hand seals. "Divine Judgment of Olympus. Permanent seal." As a huge chains appeared made out of celestial gold, and a bronze lock was made atop of that seal of Chibaku Tensei, permanently sealing Kaguya away, back into the void, beyond Nyx, beyond chaos, beyond their Pantheon. As Naruto stood there, panting heavily, as Artemis dashed towards him, "Husband, are you all right? Father," said Lily as she dashed towards her father. "I am fine, children. I am fine. But the Titans have not returned. Their domains have. I will watch over half of them. Some of them you all can have." And so, the domains were shared. A clone of Naruto made out of blood was made, taking the strength of Atlas as well as his domains to hold on to the sky so it wouldn't fall upon the earth. While the demigods, they were resting easy. Naruto, unlike Zeus, never threatened them with quest or whatnot. They were told there to stay and live a peaceful life. And Ares, he was the one who was pissed beyond anything, and he wanted revenge. So while Naruto was resting, he tried. He tried to use his staff. He tried to use his strength, but he couldn't. He couldn't do anything. And in the end, Naruto banished him to Tartarus, the first god who was stripped away from his domain and was banished there. Naruto didn't want any bloodshed, but he had to do this. Zeus even agreed, because this was blasphemy what he has done, stealing another god's power symbol, and their kings no less. Athena was given her domain, his domain, and now ruled over war as well, alongside with wisdom. Same could be said, well, from the other side, but Mars, he was much more competent, so he stayed. I can't believe Ares would do such an insolent thing. You've done great, Naruto-sama. No need to call me that, brother. It was needed to be done, said Naruto in his Roman form, which was much more strict and not so fun-loving and ease-loving, but still diplomatic and peaceful as ever. The demigods needs to be trained as warriors, but remember, there is no war left. That is correct, said Bellona, but we must train them to be vigilant. That is correct, certainly, but be lenient on them a little bit. Our king is right, said Jupiter. His word is our law, and we must follow it. And so now we see Naruto, back at his temple, was resting near Artemis. You know, husband. Yes. Since there is peace and everything is now okay, there are no titans to bother us, no Ares. How about we have another child? Sorry, what? You see, I miss Lily since she is a grown goddess and has taken her responsibilities. I have been grown lonely since I missed the hunt and whatnot. You can go visit, she has told you multiple times. No, I do not miss that. I miss being a mother. I wish to experience that once more. So would you. Of course then. And so, they kissed. Olympus was at peace. Atlantis was with them. Underworld was with them. If anything, Ares was the one who was trapped, locked away. And he was pissed. He was stripped. He was humiliated. Even Mars denounced him. He was now nothing more than a Greek immortal, the ruined son of Hera and Zeus, who was mocked, hated, until his eyes turned gold. Something sinister spoke to him, wishing him, showing him the powers that he would acquire if it helped him. Because you see, once Kaguya got sealed, the Titan spirits broke free, but they escaped Tartarus. And now, they wanted to escape the underworld. And they needed someone to wield them since their physical form was destroyed. And who better than the one who had lost everything? As Ares smirked, I am hoping that you are capable of enjoy the peace that you have built, brother. Because once I escape, there will be hell to pay. I will destroy Olympus, have my revenge on not only you, but on Zeus as well. As this is where I'm going to be leaving the story of, guys. I hope you enjoyed this one. If you do, then make sure you leave a like and subscribe to my channel if you like the content of this channel. As this is Apollo Uchiha, and I'm signing off for the day. Peace.